so excited to bring you guys another book review. This is for a fiction book. It's called Merlin's Blade by Robert Treskillard.
When a meteorite crashes near a small village in 5th century Britain, it brings with it a mysterious black stone that bewitches anyone who comes in contact with its glow, a power the Druids hope to use to destroy King Uther's kingdom. The only person who seems immune is a shy, young, half-blind swordsmith's son named Merlin. As his family, village, and even the young Arthur are placed in danger, Merlin must face his fears and his blindness to take hold of the role ordained for him. But when he is surrounded by adversaries, how will he save the girl he cherishes and rid Britain of this deadly evil without losing his life?
Merlin's Blade is the first book in a new series written by a new author, and this series is called The Merlin Spiral. The book is put out by Blink, which is a new line of YA books that Zondervan is releasing. I think probably the first time that I was introduced to the story of Merlin and author was through Walt Disney's The Sword and the Stone. And from there, I remember in high school reading just a little bit of The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. But lately, I am a huge fan of the BBC version of Merlin. I love that it shows Merlin in his younger years, and him and Arthur are always getting into trouble. He's always rescuing or saving the day, and Arthur has no idea. I absolutely love that series. I love the actors, I love the setting, I love the storyline, I love everything about it. So, when I heard that a new Christian author was releasing a series on the life of Merlin, I was uber excited and I totally wanted to grab it up. When I received the book, though, I was kind of questioning, would I like this new Merlin? Because, and my husband can totally vouch for me on this, but I'm the type of person that if I like something, I like it, I don't want anything else. If we go to a restaurant, I will order the same thing because that's what I like. I know I like it. Why would I want anything else? And you may be thinking the same thing about Merlin or the stories of King Arthur. There's so many out there, and you may have a favorite. So why would you try anything new? Why would you give a new series about the life of Merlin a chance? Well, I'm going to give you some reasons in this video that I think you should totally read Merlin's Blade. The first thing is Merlin. I totally love Colin Morgan as Merlin in the BBC series, and I wasn't sure how I would feel about Merlin being any different than that. But in Robert Treskillard's book, I so love Merlin. I think some of the things that endear me to him early on in the book as a character and just made him A-okay in my book was that he is the type of person who is self-sacrificing. We immediately learn that Merlin is partially blind and he has scars on his face, and we don't really know why at first, but later, and not too much later in the book because I don't want to give too many spoilers in this video, but we learn that Merlin was actually attacked by wolves trying to save his sister, who's really his half-sister. As well as in the opening scene of the book, Merlin and his good friend Garth, they get into a bit of trouble. Once Garth has to stand before the judge to be, sentenced for his crimes, Merlin actually takes Garth's punishment on himself, he's flogged for the events that took place in the first few chapters of the book. Those things really just endear this Merlin character to readers, and I think that readers will love him. The scene where Merlin is flogged happens early on in the book, and that was a really difficult scene to read. And I think the author, he wrote those, you just feel those emotions, you feel the pain that Merlin's going through, and you just really feel for him. But as I read that scene, I couldn't help but think of Christ and how he took my punishment on himself, which leads to the second thing that I think is so wonderful about this book, and that's the faith factor. That's one thing that's missing from the BBC Merlin is a faith factor. Sure, you can watch the show and there are some really great messages and some valuable things that you can take away from that, but it's not the same as what Robert Treskillard has done so wonderfully in this book, and that's incorporated themes of faith. As I'm reading a book, I love to know that it's changing me, that it is strengthening my faith, giving me hope. It's changing the way I see my own circumstances. And that's what I want when I read a book. That's totally what I got from Merlin's Blade. And the third and final reason I think you should read this book is because it's just awesome, okay? It is awesome. Fandomness moment, people. I love the plot, I love the characters, I love the writing style, I love the pacing. I love everything about this book. You know what I hate though? I hate when an awesome series comes out and I didn't hear about it until all the books had already released and the fandomness has sort of died down and everybody knows what happened and nobody really wants to talk about it anymore. I hate that. So don't let that happen to you if you hate that. Don't let that happen to you for the Merlin Spiral series. Jump on the bandwagon with me, people. I think that the things that make the BBC Merlin series so popular, and if you're a fan of that, I highly recommend you check out this book. But I think the things that make that so popular are some of the same elements in this story that are going to make this a bestseller. So don't miss out on getting into Merlin's Spiral, okay? Get in it early on. Go ahead and grab you up the first book and read it, and you'll be anticipating the second book as I am. Another thing that's cool about this book is that the author has included some maps, which I think are awesome. I love when there's little extras included in a book. As well as in the back of the book, there's an actual glossary that helps you pronunciate some of the names that are in the book, and as well as keeping up with who's who. And I love that. I refer to it often during the book, and I really appreciate him doing that. I give Merlin's Blade by Robert Treskillard 5 out of 5 stars. I cannot tell you how much I love this book. If you didn't know it already, I love this book. This has been my review of Merlin's Blade, Book 1 in the Merlin Spiral by new author Robert Treskillard. From JoJo's Corner, until next time, happy reading! Bye everybody!